Hello, sorry about the audio in this one. My audio is usually never very good. I'm a little bit, leave it a little bit last minute, but I managed to lose the microphone. So it might be a little bit bad audio, but I mean the microphone on these GH5 Lumixes are alright, but the problem is they point backwards. So you're actually recording the audio bouncing back off the walls. Yeah. So today we're actually going to talk about this thing, which is, well, it's a very posh cabinet really. Like, yeah, there's not much to say about it except for, I got it from eBay. It was £30, maybe £40 all in. It may be the most pointless purchase I have ever purchased or placed, and basically what this is well, Bruel and Kjaer, they made like all-in-one kind of boxes, so you could put in certain bits of test equipment all together in a box, so it could be moved around easily and stuff like that. And this is one of those. And quoting the 1973 catalogue, this looks like the KO103. Let me just check that. Actually, it looks a little bit more like the K0036, but I'm not really sure. It looks like you can adjust the height of the center shelf, so it could be any one of those really. There's no actual insignia on it, I don't think. No, there is a blanking panel that goes on the top, and this actually says on it, Radomski, I'm going to say this completely wrong, Radomski Wytwarnia Telefono, Poland. So the RWT of Poland. I'm guessing it's maybe a telephone exchange or something. I'm not really sure. And this basically goes in, and I guess it goes on the top piece, and then it pushes out. One sec. There's little clips. I'm just going to clip this in place so it doesn't fall out again. Ooh, actually that's really nifty. There we go. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make this into, right now, a non-functioning kind of display piece, because I've got a few non-functioning parts that are lying around, and we're just going to put them into here because it's going to look awesome. And then maybe one day they'll get a bit of a refurbish and it'll actually work. A bit of context, I have a fair few bits of Bruel and Kjaer. The main reason was I'm planning on building, I don't know when, but just a big kind of noise test equipment wall of such in this museum that I'm setting up. However, I need to do a lot of work on all of them, or if somebody's around and wants to have a mess about, recap some of them, because yeah, they're all very dodgy states, because I bought them all very cheap, so none of them have been refurbished or really taken care of. However, they are built like tanks, and pretty much all of them do function. It's just how long will they function. So I'm not turning any of them on. I'm having it all as a static display first off, and then hopefully over time, as this strange plan of actually having a museum about the history of test equipment and electronic music and stuff like that, you know, progresses. But let's get back to this K0038 or whatever it is. It's one of them. What we're going to do is we're going to put some pieces in. So I had a look around to try and think what would be best to put in them, and basically the bottom bit, the main accessory that you usually fit into it, is a Bruel and Kjaer Type 2305 level recorder. Basically this just records levels of whatever you put into it, or like kind of like a seismograph. It kind of bounces up and down. And I have this one, which I actually got for £3 on eBay. It was yeah, nobody bidded on it except for me. It was free postage. I felt a little bit bad, and I actually messaged the seller to say if they wanted me to cover postage, because obviously I think they were expecting it to go for a little bit more money, but the fact is these things are relatively useless when untested. But they were very nice, and they said, you know, you win some, you lose some. As long as I gave some top feedback, then it's fine. So there are still nice people out in the world. So we're going to put this in here, and then in the middle, and this is a Type 2113 audio frequency spectrometer. This one actually does work. However, I think it will be nicer in here. So, so for now, when it's not all plugged up and stuff, it's going to be a massive job to get it all working. I'm going to have this living in here because it will look nice. You may recognise this one because it's one of the first ones I ever got. It was about 1.5 years ago, and I found out that you could make the actual, you could flick through the actual frequency spectrum. This is actually triggered by this. So there's a plug. somewhere. There should be a 5-pin bin. I'm not sure where it plugs in, but this actually sends out a pulse on every spin of the cycle to flick through the actual audio spectrum. And then the plan is you record in the noise, and then you look at the graph and you figure out where in the audio spectrum the noise is coming from. I mean, in this situation, this would probably be used for some sort of finding noise in the telephone line. For this one was Nescott, and I have a feeling this was probably to do with maybe finding audio noises in sound insulation, maybe, I don't know. And this one is from Westland Helicopters, so this would have probably been, you know, finding buzzes in mechanical parts of a helicopter, or I don't know, sound insulation, figuring that stuff out. But that's cool that this is actually from Westland Helicopters. Like, that's what I said in one of the last videos, is a lot of these have loads of tags all over them saying about their history, and most of these are from really interesting places. So prior to starting this video, I actually removed the 2113 from its wooden case. The brochure shows you that they had multiple different options of case types. There was this, the wooden case, there was the steel case, which is the black one, and you can see some at the back, and there's, I think you could buy them bare, and I guess you get them bare like this. So you can put them directly into your case. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to put them into the case. Around the back of the case there is exactly the same mounting holes that are on these, so you can just use the same screws and just pop them in. Anyway, let's put it in. Oh, it just fits like a glove. Ooh. Takes a little bit of persuasion, but you get there in the end. There we go. And then you can use the old enclosure as a seat whilst you plop it in. I'm going to pop this enclosure for some reason there's only 2. I have a feeling they came with more, however they've probably been lost to the sands of time. This one has a modification, so the weird proprietary connector is actually now on these, and there is a kettle lead that goes to the back of it, and I might see if the actual rear case might actually still fit on here. One sec. Yeah, that may just, oh no, the actual connectors, that's a shame. This actually fits to the back of the old case. The old case actually has the mounts for this back panel, so I won't be able to use this, so I'm gonna have to do some modification, because at the bottom of this case right here there is a whole mush of wires that kind of just act as a, you know, an extension cable that just splits it off into these kettle leads. But annoyingly they're kettle leads, and these are the strange proprietary things. So if I'm going to look at getting this working at any point, I'm going to have to, you know, think about the power supplies and stuff like that. So the next step is actually figuring out how the heck to attach this to the level recorder. So if I twist it around, like so, the way it attaches, oh my god, these things are ridiculously heavy. So the way it works is it actually kind of like just sits on the back like this. So this goes underneath the lip, and then if you look closely, there are actually some screw holes, and these kind of these line up to, oh god. So there's screw holes. So there are screw holes on the back of these. I'm just going to remove the level recorder, which is a bit rusty. Obviously this isn't the best condition level recorder ever, because I bought it for £3 off eBay. So I'll just take out the back. Ooh, yes! I haven't got any screws that size. As you can see, these 2 holes that are on the side, on both sides, actually line up to these 2 right here. I'm just going to see if I have any screws that are for these. These look like they've already got threads in it. Maybe not. Right, let's see if any of these fit. They're not metric. Oh, that is really annoying. I don't really want to change it up, so I'm not really sure what to do. Literally a bit of steel just behind this that has some tapped holes, so I don't feel too bad about it. Woo! Now that is good. Yes, I love it when a plan comes together. Now, okay, so I need to line this up. And that should sort of sit in. Oh, it's quite raised. Oh, hopefully this is all going to line up nicely when it's done. Ah, this is like working on a car. Oh, bummer. I have a feeling there's another part to it because, yeah, the holes don't line up. Oh, bugger. No, that's so annoying. That's a proper, like, car problem. I've just bought another 2305 that I have. This is the level recorder to the party just to see if they're any different or these are the same. Because I have a feeling that maybe there's a different part. Maybe there's a part that's missing. Oh, this has got a kettle lead on it. Maybe that means that this is going to be slightly different. Very weird. So this is another live oil recorder that I got off eBay. I seem to remember it was only, I think it was 20 or 30 pounds. Nobody wants these things, which is great because, I mean, I understand why nobody wants them because they are just like posh paperweights, especially when they're in untested condition, but I like them nevertheless. But if you can see, there is actually a size difference. Look at that side, they're lined up, and then on this side, this one's wider. It's a little bit wider, and that is the kind of tolerances we were looking at here. So that makes me think that this one's got a much lower, it's a little bit confusing, the serial numbers. If the serial numbers are based on numbers and not like dates and stuff, then this one is older and this one is newer. However, this one's even got a kettle lead, which suggests it's newer. This doesn't look like it's been modified to fit a separate kettle lead. But however, this has got, if it goes by dates, like this has got 7067 and this one's got 7810. So no, I reckon they're numbers. So this one's higher. The undersides look a little bit different. This is the one that we tried to fit in and it's a smaller one. Whether it's older or newer, I mean, the condition makes it look newer. However, this one's got a higher serial number, but it looks older. Even the circuit boards, I don't know, I'm really not sure. Oh, look at the heat on that stuff. But this is the newer one. This is the one that we're going to use. And I know for a fact that this doesn't work. I've had to mess around with it. There are some mechanical issues. So right now I'm just going to have it looking nice. And then maybe it'll be a fact of merging these two together because that one is still up in the air whether it works or not. So, the moment of truth. Oh yes. Oh yes. Right, this is the right width, but the screw holes still don't line up. That is really annoying. Everything else lines up except for the screw holes. Right, that's a bit annoying. It all lines up except for the screw holes. The screw holes just don't connect up at all. This actual one is the right width this time, but the screw holes still don't match up, which is a right pain in the backside. I want it to be permanent. Well, that's a tad annoying. Neither of the actual level recorders I have actually fit. They're both different to each other as well, which makes me think that maybe all of them are a bit different down through the years of being produced, and the one that was connected to this probably had the mounting brackets. The actual holes that were put into this actual mounting kind of enclosure looked like they were hand drilled after it was painted, which makes me think that maybe they're just a bit of a free-for-all, maybe? Or maybe there is a mounting bracket that goes between this and this, which is missing. So I'm not fussed for now. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it together. Wherever it's going to go, I'm going to put it together so it looks like it's attached. I might even kind of attach it some way crudely for now, but not permanently. Something that did come to mind is this is the 2305 level recorder and the other one is the 2305 level recorder, and this is actually made to fit the 2305 and the 2307. I'm not sure what the difference between the two are, but it makes me think that maybe they have different mounting brackets on the back, and this one has the 2307 mounting brackets, which is a pain. But anyway, Now the next step is to find something that fits into this hole. Annoyingly, the only thing that I have to fit in this hole is nothing to do with telephone communication stuff. It's actually a motion analyzer. So it would probably have been used in this setup to kind of, I don't know, usually there would be plugged in something like a slave filter or a measuring amplifier or something like this, but this is going to have to do because it's the only thing I have that fits in the hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out of its case. I must be honest, I don't know much about this one. Yeah, it just kind of turned up. I don't even remember actually getting it, to be perfectly honest with you. There we go. So this came with the steel case instead of the wooden case. And now it's a bit of a gammy one, this one. So here we go. What we're going to do is we're going to slide it in, screw it up, and then this is going to be a motion analyzing recorder, I guess. I'm not really sure how both of these are going to work together, and I'm going to try and find a measuring amplifier to fit in here, and then it will kind of make a bit more sense, because I'm not really sure what kind of application this motion analyzer is for, but let's see if it fits. That's not going nowhere. Amazingly, these two fit really well inside it. Got a problem with the level recorder. I'm gonna either find a 2307, because it doesn't hurt to have both, right? And see if that actually fits on this. But for now, I'm gonna stick it on a table. When it opens, I'm probably not gonna let it near anybody because this will come apart and fall on somebody, so you don't want that. So as far as for now, for this video is concerned, we're done. If anybody knows anything about the mounting socket holes at the bottom, then please let me know. And if anybody knows where I can find a measuring amplifier, yet again, please let me know. Even though this has actually got So that's just a little experience of putting together like parts that you would get from a Bruel and Kjaer kind of catalogue. 1973 is the one that I was referencing, and this is it right next to me. Obviously, probably got the wrong line, level recorder, or I've forgotten a bracket, missed a bracket or something. I have a feeling I have another panel somewhere with the actual Bruel and Kjaer logo. I'm not sure where it is. I think this might even be the back one, and there's a front one. I'll find it. I must have lost it in the move here. Like I said, this is all gonna become a museum, and I'm actively working on that. It's called the Museum of Everything Else. It's a name that actually Look Mum No Computer was called before it was called Look Mum No Computer, when I initially had like an aim to open a museum, and somehow it's sort of happening, which is very strange. And if you want to come and visit, it will be open at some point when it's safe to do so. And if you want to support it, see more information about it, get your name on some knobs or something like that of some of the creations and machines, then please go and check out the Patreon, because right now it doesn't seem like it's supporting much, but it will be building up to supporting a more community venture and stuff like that. And likewise, if you have any items like the measuring amplifier I may be looking for and stuff like that, then please get in touch. There's a contact on my website, and if you have any random crap that you either want to get rid of or you're interested in selling, I mean, I'm interested in talking about it. I don't have a massive budget, but I've got enough budget to sort of talk and, you know, kind of humour ideas, let's say. So if you've got some really strange things, even big things, small things, whatever, then please let me know, because I am after all kinds of oddities, because now I finally have an excuse to be a rampant hoarder. Yes, this is great. And yeah, and that's enough from me. And if you're interested in seeing more stuff like this, it might not just be me in the future, it might be other people as well who want to come along and maybe fix these, do a video on the Museum of Everything Else channel and push something else along, I'm not sure. But yeah, subscribe to this. And yeah, I've been Sam, Look Mum No Computer, and don't be scared to try it, I guess. And like, look at my beard. I haven't shaved for a while. Anyway, peace. Take care.